All right, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. It's Todd Ferguson with Accelerators Organization. Going to answer some questions that you guys have that you sent in through the portal. So this is one of my favorite things, especially when I got started in AO, was the ability to ask questions, to get different mentors to answer them, and to get a different perspective. So got 4 questions. We're going to roll through these real quick, and hopefully it gives you guys a little bit of insight and something just to think about. And I know Sean sent these out to other mentors as well. So take what is applicable to your business and use that, and then use that as a learning tool too. And if any of these don't make sense as I'm going through the answers, or you need more information, feel free to reach out to me and through DM on Facebook Messenger is probably the easiest, and we can chat. But a little bit about myself. I am an entrepreneur, kind of by accident. We own an e-commerce business, so we sell on Amazon and Walmart. We also own a warehouse and logistics company, and then we're also into real estate as well. So we're going to use some of that background and information to hopefully help you guys with these questions. So the first question comes from Sam. Sam asked, what suggestions do you have to help me create more prospects in my new business? So business description says, I just started with a network marketing company. I ran out of friends and family. Can you share any ideas that you would use to create a new flow of leads for selling life insurance? Thanks, Sam. So hopefully with network marketing, I've been involved in a couple different things like that when I first started out. But the big thing with them is to get referrals. So hopefully they taught you how to get referrals. Hopefully you got referrals from your friends and family as you were talking to them about your business. If not, cold calling, cold prospecting is usually the toughest for these types of businesses, such as life insurance. But if you do have referrals, that's called more of a warm lead or a warm prospect, and it's easier to get an appointment with them, to at least get them to listen to you. So hopefully you did that. If not, you can revisit your friends and family, ask them for referrals now that they know what you did. But also depends on the type of life insurance that you are currently selling. So, and really, if it's whole life term, it doesn't really matter what people believe in, but it's the type of insurance that you're marketing. So who is your avatar? And Sean talks a lot about this, and other mentors do too in the events that he has. But what is your avatar? And your avatar is basically, what is your ideal customer? Is it somebody that's married? Is it somebody that's single? Is it somebody that has kids? Is it somebody that owns a business? Is it somebody that makes over X amount of dollars? So once you identify that, then you can really learn how to target leads, or to really find new people to talk to your business about. But part of it too is just getting out there, beating the pavement, having business cards ready, being able to have an elevator pitch. So being able to quickly tell people what you do. And yes, you're offering life insurance, but what do you sell? What are you selling with that? What type of insurance are you offering to people? So getting that down to where you're not saying and a lot, to be really quick and concise would be something too. But really just getting out there, beating the pavement, talking to people, and then using referrals. So hopefully that helps Sam. All right, next question comes from Ricardo. Ricardo asks, what is a good percentage of return for investors in companies? So business description, and in the background of the question says, I'm eventually planning to start a second business venture and want to get investors involved. I'm willing to give investors a piece of the pie. How much is ideal? Looking forward to hearing your responses. Thank you. So lots of thoughts here. We just had a great event in San Diego for the second tier of AO called AO Squared. And Dan, I believe, is the one that brought this up. Talked about that really giving up a percentage of your business is not always ideal. And yes, people, we see Shark Tank, and we hear about Uber and PayPal and all these companies that get investors and grow these massive businesses and then sell them. So you got to ask yourself, what is your goal with this? Would be the first thing is, what is your goal with this new business venture? Is it to scale it super quick, to be able to offer it to sell to somebody else, or is it another stream of income? And do you want to be the one solely making those decisions? So when you really bring in an investor or a partner or whatever you want to look at it as, it really kind of muddies the waters in certain instances. I have a business partner and a couple of businesses. I think it's, for me, in those businesses, it works, but it's really identifying that. But Dan talked about that debt usually is cheaper in the long run versus an investor. An investor, you're giving up a percentage of your business. Debt, you're just paying a percent on the money, and once that's paid back, then you own 100% of the business. So, really identify what those things are that you want this business to do and what you want to get done. And so maybe an investor is not the right idea, or maybe it is, but it's really identifying that. And so what percentage do people want? Well, that really just depends on the percentage or on the individual. It depends on the amount of money. It depends on the market that you're in, or the niche or the business that you're doing. It depends on what your goals are. And so being able to explain that to a person that's going to invest in your company, whether it's giving them shares of your company or whether it's actually just taking a loan and giving them a percentage back on that money. But it's really selling your vision, selling your dream, knowing where you're going, how you're going to get there, and what that money and or person will bring to the table. So once you identify that, then you can really start to ask yourself, do I want an investor, or do I just need capital? And how do I get capital? Do I get it the traditional way through the SBA or through a local bank? Or maybe it's raising money from your friends and families, or do I really need an investor? Is the investor going to bring business expertise? Are they going to bring something to the table that I don't have? And that's part of that. So just really identifying those things. So hopefully that helps, Ricardo. All right, next question comes from Johan, and it says, the question is, should I start a sales job? Business description says, I'm 18, I'm a part-time student at FIU. I'm also trying to scale my local moving company. I'm not insanely busy, but my hours fluctuate a lot. I want a sales job to learn and meet new people and make more money. However, I want to continue to grow my moving company. I have a new truck, and now I have guys that can do the work for me. I think I should get a sales job, but I don't want to slow my moving company. Maybe quit college, that's a question. And then, or should I dive more into my business? So a lot to think about and unpack. I'm gonna try to answer this super quick and concise, but getting a sales job, I don't think is ever a bad idea when you're starting out. It teaches you skills. Sales skills are super important. Whether or not you're actually in a business to where you have to sell things, you're always selling yourself. And so the things that you're going to learn with a sales job, I think is going to be great. You're still young, 18. But here's the thing that I would really caution you is, well, first of all, let's tackle the should I quit college? That's a personal preference. I found out college was not for me. I went a couple years, decided I had other opportunities, went to work for a pretty decent sized company, making more money than I would have out of college. Eventually it led to me being an entrepreneur. And as I look back, the things that I were going to learn in college didn't necessarily apply to what I wanted to do. So that's just a very personal question that at some point you need to just really figure out. But investing in your own business, you asked if you should dive more into your business. Investing in your own business is never a bad thing. The one thing I will caution you is getting spread too thin. So if you're new to your business as far as the moving company, and you're really working on scaling that and building that, anything that takes away from that is just a distraction. And so if you really have the opportunity to make money and to do all that, then you actually going out there and meeting new people, learning how to make extra money with you said you have a new truck and guys that can do that. So learning how to leverage that, learning how to be a better leader. Those are things that are going to grow your company and eventually going to grow your net worth versus just having a job of sales. Again, like I said, learning those skills, I think is great. But if you already have a business and you know that it can be scalable, it can make money, and there's opportunity to make more money, that's where I personally would invest my time. And so, you can learn how to be a salesman. There's tons of stuff inside of the AO portal that teaches you the skills of selling. There's workshops that Sean puts on at his house, basically just around selling. So doing those things is an investment into you. And then you can go out and use that with your company. But I personally, until I had a business that really was able to run by itself, that was bringing in all the money that I wanted it to, had the right people, that's what I would focus on. It is great to have multiple streams of income. We have that, but it's also taken us 10 or 11 years to get to that point. And so really hammering down on the skill, on the business that you have now, if you believe that long-term is gonna be the thing that you want to do, that's what I personally would do. All right, last question. I'm going to wrap it up. It comes from Sean. Sean asked, have you ever hired an SEO company? What should I look for when trying to increase awareness through SEO for my business? So business description, background and question says, we sell boats and my inventory is pretty full. I need to reach as many people as I can in my state and states around me. So I personally don't have any experience with SEO. I know there are people inside the group that do. I believe, if I'm hoping I'm not wrong about this, but Eric's company does that. Arrow Effect Marketing. If he doesn't, he could hook you up with some people. But really, SEO is search engine optimization. So that's basically for the website that you have. Maybe that's the right way to go. Maybe it's more social media advertising. You know, you can target, you can get really, really specific when you do social media ads for stuff like, you know, boats, sea-doos, winterization of boats, whatever that is. And so it's really figuring out, again, what we talked about with the first question is figuring out your avatar, figuring out what type of person around you owns a boat, where they hang out, the websites they visit, the groups that are in on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever it is, but really figuring that out and learning how to do social media advertising. And it's not learning that, but that's, you know, hiring out a company, learning how to give them an offer, learning how to figure out your return on your investment or what it costs you to acquire a customer, and then learning out what your return is on all that. And so, you know, it really just usually just picking one avenue initially is not always the best idea, in my opinion. It's spreading it out. So if, let's just say you have $1,000 to spend for the month, you're going to spend some of that on SEO, some of that on social media advertising, maybe some of that on in-person events. You know, if you live in an area where boating is still prevalent right now with the weather, or it's, you know, maybe it is winterizing, whatever it is, wherever those people are going, you're going to do an in-person event. Joe does a great job of this with Joe the Home Pro. Like he is in front of people all the time. So part of it, so there's top of mind advertising, and then there's, you know, basically offers like you're doing with SEO or social media marketing. But top of mind advertising is you're so out there and you're so in people's face that whenever they think of boating or they think of whatever, they immediately think of your company. And so, you know, think like Chick-fil-A. You think of, I mean, there's tons of other Kleenex, like when you need to blow your nose, you think of Kleenex. It's really crazy stuff like that, but it's top of mind advertising. And so there's just, that's how I would divvy it up. Then see what gives you the most return, and then really figure out if that's where you want to put your money. But reach out to, you know, you can reach out to Eric. He can help you out and either point you in the right direction or maybe do some work with you. I know we've used him for a couple of projects, and we've been super happy. So, all right, everybody, that's all we have today. Again, if you need more information, didn't make sense, if you asked the question, feel free to shoot me a DM on Facebook, and we'll get going from there. Thanks, everybody. Have a great afternoon, and we'll talk to you soon.